Hey, I for some reason I thought you got rid of the piano, Phil.
No, I will always have the piano. Now,
Okay.
next step is to actually learn how to play the darn thing.
Or get
Although
somebody
this
to
really
play
isn't
it
mine,
for
so
you.
it doesn't really matter. I mean,
I agree with Ray. Get someone to play it for you. Just have
Yeah.
them sit there when you're on the show. Just have them play some music in the background. That'd be great.
well, yeah, agree.
Oh,
Usually, grand pianos like that, they have an automatic player on them, so they'll just play the music.
I don't
You don't even
know.
need a
I've ever
person.
seen a baby grand with an automatic player on it.
I've
I
seen
don't
'em.
think it's usual. Any which case, I
I
think
mean,
you
there's a use
can
case for
buy
everything,
some.
right? Depends
Yeah.
on how much room you got in the house. It's all good. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone. So,
Oh
welcome, Ray.
Lord.
We had
Yes.
a lot of stuff going on this weekend.
You know, it was 2 Sundays in a row that our flights were canceled to Charlotte.
That's so
So
weird.
yeah, it really is. It's a wonderful thing. At least we didn't actually make it to the airport this week. When Zach picked me up to go to the airport is when we finally got the notice, that the flight's been canceled. So
Is
we
that
didn't
for
really.
heat?
What was that?
Is it for heat? Was that what
It was because of thunderstorms
Oh, thunderstorms. Okay.
in the Northeast.
Do you want the real reason, Ray, of what's
Okay.
going on?
Yeah.
It's not thunderstorms. The air traffic control has a shortage of people working the system, so it's causing delays, causing cancellations. Not for 2 times in a row.
Yeah, but every time it happened, the 2 times that it happened, Phil, it happened
Mhm.
when the Northeast was being hammered with thunderstorms, and it was
Was it?
a large line of storms. The flight that we were supposed to take, that was supposed to leave at 8:55, was originating in Boston, and Boston was getting hammered
Yep.
at the
Okay.
time that flight was supposed to take off.
Can confirm that. I can
Yes.
confirm that. My sister had a flight, her first flight out to California a couple of months ago was canceled for the same thing. The weather in Boston was awful. And Phil, I just found out this from my sister who lives in Arizona, that apparently the heat causes major amounts of turbulence when it gets that hot. It was 118, and
It does.
they were causing some flight delays and redirections because of the heat, which I didn't know that caused turbulence. But apparently,
the other thing that happens when the temperatures get that high, I lived through it in Phoenix. When we had a high temperature one day of 121 and the next day of 122, the manuals for the planes, for the settings, the wing settings and engine settings and everything, only go up to temperatures of 120 degrees. So anything above 120 degrees, they're not sure what the settings should be, so they shut the damn airport down.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
So
anyway, you'll always know that during the winter you will always have a smoother flight because the colder air is much more dense. So when summer comes, it's always going to be a bit of a rough ride.
Gotcha.
So Phil, what I hear you saying is I'm not dense, I'm cool. And I will.
Let's go with that.
Okay. I'm going to go with that.
You're the coolest host on CarEdge.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So
I'm the densest host.
And you're just, no. If I'm the coolest, I must be the densest. From what I'm hearing Phil say. So speaking of hot, Ford prices are getting hot, right? They lowered the prices. So before we get into the full-on Ford thing, let's talk about this. They lowered them $10,000 on Monday, as much as almost 10,000.
Yes,
like 9,600 on Monday. Anything happen directly, maybe 1-2 days before that may have influenced that decision? Anybody know?
I mean, I know, but I'm going to let you call this one out, Justice. Let's see if Ray knows.
Can I say?
Yes.
Can I say? Tesla finally produced a single solitary Cybertruck, and the whole world went into craziness because a single solitary Cybertruck had rolled off the lines. And you're going to suggest to me that one damn truck was enough to make Ford lower their price on their Lightning?
I'm going to say those 10 damn trucks that rolled off the line did. It was not one. And it is most definitely in the right time frame that in September they will be probably doing their unveiling and delivery event. So that's when they did the Y. It's about the same time framing that they started rolling off the Y off the line and then doing that. So yeah, I am going to say that the Cybertruck being produced in production and not just in theory now, not prototypes, but actual production vehicles rolling off the line might have something to do with this. And then that leads into our other thing, which was Elon's comment on the Lightning dropping its prices. Ray, I don't know if you saw this, but CNBC did the article, Ford's cutting prices on the Lightning as much as $10,000, which Elon responded to, Ford Lightning is a good vehicle, just somewhat expensive, especially given the high interest rates these days for any kind of loan.
I mean, I've got something to say about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Right. So so the entry level Pro Lightning is $50,000. It tops out at $91,000. So which one is he referring to? And if this is going to give reference to how the Cybertruck is going to be priced, I mean, if you go to the Platinum Lightning, that's $91,000. So if he's saying that his is, if that costs too much, then I'm thinking this is going to give light to maybe him pricing his like around 70, 80. We don't even know which Lightning he's actually referring to.
Well, I mean, first off, they have stair steps like Tesla's going to, right? They have the single, the dual, and a tri-motor Cybertrucks. So my guess is, based on this comment and maybe some wishful thinking, I'm sure Ray will say, that the tri-motor will probably come in under $80,000. And it's not just this tweet that I referenced that to, but Tesla's working hard to keep their $7,500 tax credit. And $80,000 is the most they can do on that truck to hit that $7,500 tax credit. So we might see a $79,000 max price on the Cybertruck.
Can I extrapolate one thing?
Yeah,
I'm sure the Cybertruck's a nice truck, but it's a tad bit expensive. Even without knowing what the price is, even if you tell me, oh my goodness, it's going to come in under $80,000, I don't know how to break it to anybody. That's a tad bit expensive.
I'm saying the top level. I'm saying the bottom level, entry level Cybertruck under 50.
What, 49.9?
Maybe 45.
I don't know. When are they coming out with the actual? When's he releasing pricing? Is it tomorrow?
September.
When?
Probably.
Oh.
Probably be at the unveiling. I mean, first off, September's not that far away. I'm going to be
with Ray on that. I think they're both too expensive. I think a $90,000 Lightning is so too expensive. Anyway,
I think a comparably equipped gas powered Ford F-150 at $90,000 is way too expensive. Yeah, but that's just me.
Yeah, BTVS here says 80,000 is still less than the Rivian, which is not moving metal very much. And I think this is some things that we've talked about here. I think we talked about last Friday. Certainly something to hit again today is the EV inventory piling up. And as we talked about last time, I think we're going to see Tesla's number come out tomorrow. And from all indications, they're going to indicate that they had the largest quarter they've ever had in sales. But that is not going to be the S and X leading the way in that. The S and X just aren't moving. They've discontinued right-hand drive. The giga casting on the Cybertruck doesn't seem to be that they're doing anything with a right-hand drive on that. So they're saving costs on those models. They're not going to be shipping out into those countries for right-hand drive because they just don't think the profit is there. The higher end vehicles just aren't moving, and that means Rivian, Lucid is not. Nobody's buying Lucid. So these super expensive vehicles aren't selling. Another reason why I think the Cybertruck will be a little bit less is I don't think Tesla's stupid in what they're doing. And if they have to take less profit, because we know their vehicles are actually profitable, unlike others. If they have to take less profit on the Cybertruck to get it out there and to get it into the market, I think they will.
Probably. Yeah. The Tesla's in a position where they can try and undercut everybody, and that's what they're doing, and that's what they've been doing. They want to punish the legacy dealers and all the other new players in the electric field for having been so late coming to the party, and that's exactly what they're doing. So,
well, in China, this Chinese affordable vehicle that's not coming, and I keep saying is not coming. They announced BYD announced two more models that they're shipping out, and zero plans still to move to the U.S. They have said they have zero plans to come to the United States. So they're, for everyone waiting for that Chinese influx, I don't think it's going to happen because they have too many other markets they can go to. China and India alone make the United States so small that it's not even a market they care about.
Do you think at this point, maybe one of the reasons why the Chinese auto industry isn't really thinking of coming to the United States is because they know politically it wouldn't be a good move at the moment? It wouldn't be it wouldn't be an atmosphere where they would necessarily be welcomed.
Yeah, and we still have a lot of tariffs on China. So especially in those kind of things, and I'm sure I haven't heard them say it specifically, but I'm sure the Inflation Reduction Act saying you have to get your minerals from North America or a free trade country probably pissed China off a little bit. They probably had a big.
I would guess that probably did.
Yeah, because it really was targeting China a lot on a lot of that. So yeah, I can see that they just don't. They don't want to come to the U.S. They don't appreciate some of the policies that have come out, and I think our market is just too small for them. Quite frankly, as big of a market as we are. India's popping up so much that we got Yellen going over there and chatting with them. Was it yesterday, day before? She's over there and saying, hey, let's work together. So India's starting to rise pretty fast. And I think that's the market that, okay, look, China can get in on India and they have their market. What is the US to them? It's insignificant.
It might be insignificant in terms of size, but in terms of stature, it's extremely significant.
It is. But that goes back into the political realm of it.
Yes.
So they don't want to build U.S. stature, right? So that's going to kind of be a thing for them. They don't want to. They're trying to get off the dollar. They're trying everything. Like they want to decrease our influence and everything else. So, that could be part of that too. We're only at 6% penetration with EVs, but even that is sort of wavering right now, right? Ray, you shared a great article from Automotive News with me. You want to dive into that a little bit?
Well, it's for certain brands, EV sales have slowed dramatically. Hyundai, Kia, Ford, obviously. There is a market, but at this point in time, the U.S. EV market is still absolutely positively dominated by one player, and that one player is Tesla. 6 out of every 10 EVs that are sold in this country are Teslas.
Yeah.
And the American consumers are fighting back to a certain degree. Sales of the Ford Mach-E, stagnant. Sales of the Lightning, stagnant. Sales of Ford Pro electric transit vehicles, stagnant, almost non-existent. Hyundai and Kia having issues being able to maintain the momentum that they generated last year. It's not happening this year.
No.
So even though we see an increase in the number of EVs being sold in this country, there's very few players that have had any significant increase in market share over this period of time. Tesla's just, they're monopolizing the market. I know BMW sales are up significantly, Mercedes-Benz sales, but you're talking 14, 15,000 vehicles per both of those manufacturers. Last time I checked, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally nothing.
Well, and so here's one of the takes that I have on it, and I want to get both of your reactions to it, because I have a theory, and I think I said it when it happened. When Ford and then GM announced that they were moving to the more North American charging standard and that plug, and we're going to have access to the Tesla network and charging in 2025. A lot of their sales started piling up, and maybe that's coincidence. Maybe they were piling up a little bit before that, and then, we just finally started seeing the numbers. I'm not sure, but for me, I think there was a lot of, especially when you look at the Mach-E, which was selling at a pretty good clip, and then all of a sudden just like stopped dead in its tracks. And I think there's maybe a lot of people who were the more educated EV buyers who are like, well, I can just wait 2 years. I can wait for them just to have that plug, and I can access that network. And I think that was a lot of people. And Stuart says he's waiting till 2025 as well for that. And I think that really hurt I think the momentum was probably going down with the prices anyway, with prices being so high. But I don't think that helped either of these brands. And what do you guys think?
I don't think that it necessarily helped, but let's think about how much of the percentage of EV buyers are that educated about it to really understand what that difference in technology is doing. I have a thought in terms of why this is dropping off so much is that the percentage of EV buyers that can afford the cost of these cars have finally plateaued. They are still way too expensive. The average consumer cannot afford them. And at the prices that they were selling these at, that's it. They've capped out. A Ford Mustang Mach-E GT for $70,000. Right? You saw this. Zach brought this up a couple days, or what? It was last week. Like 500 days sitting on the market day supply.
Mm-hmm.
No one's buying these things at $75,000. No one's got the money for this.
And I agree with Phil. I don't think that the percentage of EV buyers are any more savvy about vehicles and how the process works than any other buyer. So I don't think. I mean, I think there's probably a core group of EV buyers that know everything there is to know about EVs. The vast majority of people that might be thinking about entertaining the idea or actually following through and purchasing ones, I don't think they're savvy enough to really know or to even care about whether or not they can charge it at at a Tesla charging station. I think the level of ignorance associated with purchasing any vehicle, ICE or electric in this country, is similar on both sides.
I will agree and disagree at the same time. I'm going to say yes in the overall buying, but I think up until now, at least, the EV buyer was more sophisticated because those who were uneducated weren't interested. They hear all the bugaboo and the scary stuff and the misinformation and go, I'm not going to buy a EV. And the ones that were buying were the ones who educated themselves into it. So I think the EV buyer up until now was probably more sophisticated. However, I think we're seeing the plateau of that, of the buyers, because of that, because we're not getting larger market penetration, because to get that market penetration, you have to be able to go to the people who don't want to know, not the people that just don't know, but the people who don't care. Most people don't care to learn about vehicles like that. They want to get in the car, they want to drive it, they want to go. You're right, Ray. They don't even want to know if it's going to be on the Tesla charging network or another network. Just my experience with my sister alone, when she came out for the first time, knowing nothing about EVs and was completely disinterested.
Mhm.
Didn't even care to learn about anything, had never even thought about them, and she was just going about her life. So for penetration to hit, I think we've talked about this before, someone needs to sell these things. And I mean like a market and sell the benefits and features of them. And until that happens, I think we're sort of at this sort of plateau thing. I will say one thing to James. I think a lot of us are sort of thinking the Model 2 is not coming to the US. So it might be coming, but from a lot of the research I'm seeing, we don't think it's going to hit here.
And why would that be?
Well, it's going to be built in Mexico, and the Mexico trade agreements are so much more than the U.S. I just think this is going to be a car for South America, the Middle East, Mexico. I think that's what that vehicle is going to be. I just don't think it's going to come here.
Why not just build it here in the U.S. as well? Why does it have to be in Mexico?
The same reason everyone builds in Mexico, Phil. It's cheaper.
Well, I know that.
Yeah, but it's a lot cheaper.
I get that point.
Well, but if you're going to have a sub $30,000 car, that's why. I think they're just going to build it there, and I think I really don't think it's going to come to the U.S. Maybe I'm wrong. I sure hope I'm wrong. I sure would love to see a sub $30,000 EV, brand new EV, come to the U.S. But I do think everything that I'm seeing online and a lot of the EV insiders that I'm seeing online sort of also are agreeing that they don't think this is going to be a U.S. And it's also too small for the U.S.
So it would be more for emerging markets? Is that like South America, Africa, India? Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And again, there are a lot of vehicles that even our legacy OEMs make in foreign markets. They don't come here because they're quote unquote too small for the U.S. market, because U.S. consumers don't want that. They want these really big vehicles. And this is like a SUV by the descriptions of it. It's like a SUV smaller than the Model 3. So a Y smaller than the 3. So I don't think it's
so like Subaru Crosstrek size, or
big,
smaller,
and maybe
smaller,
like Chevy Bolt
smaller.
Size, because Bolt is smaller than the 3.
I mean, so Ray, you're in a Mini, so I'm thinking probably closer to that.
Okay,
probably closer to that, which for a lot of people is just too small. The U.S. wants these big SUVs. Rory, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder, because I completely disagree. Seen it in person. It's beautiful. Just beautiful truck.
I mean, I'm with you, Rory. It's not a
Yeah.
good looking
Well,
truck.
Phil, you've
Sorry,
never
guys.
seen it in person, so please.
I don't.
I don't need to see the person.
I agree
Yeah.
with Phil. I don't need to see it in person either. You can take one look at that, and that is one of the ugliest vehicles. I'm telling you, the
You're pronouncing
Cybertruck.
beautiful wrong.
The Cybertruck is the troll dolls of vehicles. Okay, it is so ugly that people go, I gotta have it. That was the only reason anybody bought a troll doll. They were so ugly that people had to have it. Okay.
No, I disagree. I love it. I think it's very post-apocalyptic looking, which I love about it.
Okay.
But I
so
will
how
say
many-
this:
How many troll dolls did you own?
none.
Oh, stop it.
I had no
I don't
troll
believe
dolls.
it.
But and Phil, maybe you might remember this, but Ray, I did collect garbage pail kids.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember those things.
And then Stuart says, well, you don't like triangles? And I will say the one thing that gets me about the Cybertruck is the windows, not the windshield, the windows, because that glass. I saw one with the window half rolled down. The glass is a triangle. Like, oh, so if that gets broken, where the flippity flop am I going to be getting that replaced from? That's a very specialty glass.
Good luck with that.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And because
Yeah.
it's the bulletproof glass and this weird shape.
Wait,
I
say that
can't
again.
go to-
Wait, backtrack. Wait, backtrack. Wait a minute. Did you just say full-on bulletproof?
I didn't
Elaborate
say full
on
on
that,
bulletproof.
please.
It is bulletproof, yes. And,
Why?
I mean, did you not watch the? So Ray, I will answer the way
I'm not a fan
Elon
of the
asked.
Cybertruck, man. I didn't do any research on it.
Let me answer Ray the way Elon answered Jay Leno when Leno asked, "Why bulletproof? Like, why is that important?" And Elon said, "Because we can. If you could, wouldn't?
Oh,
Don't
you
you
know,
want?"
come on. You know, wait a second. You know, there's that old saying, why does a dog lick its private parts? And the answer is because it can. Okay. You know, that is such a BS answer. Oh, because we can. You know, if you want to make it an inexpensive truck for somebody, I'm pretty sure bulletproof glass is more expensive than regular tempered glass.
Yes, I'm
okay,
sure. I'm 100% sure.
So why does it need a bulletproof glass? I mean, is this for bank robbers? I mean, what is it for?
I mean, no. So let's be clear. It's bulletproof on like a 9mm at an angle. You're not going to be like shooting a 45 directly into it and it repelling. This is not kit yet, but
Ha!
but it is. I mean, yeah, it's just more indestructible. You're right, but I've said that before. It's going to be expensive to replace that glass, without a doubt. Like it can't be. Not only the bulletproof aspect of it, but now I look at the shape of it and I'm like, so again, this is going to be. You can buy this glass from one person, and one person only.
And that would be Tesla?
Yeah. And, you know, I think we're all sort of in agreement that that's not a good thing.
And so they can charge whatever price they want?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure it ain't going to be cheap.
No, it will definitely not be cheap.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
No.
Yeah, I am in agreement with Phil. It's ugly and bulletproof glass.
It's beautiful.
How many other reasons do I need not to buy it?
It just doesn't. No, it just doesn't look right.
Thank you.
Hey, Susanna, do not put down the drug dealer and mafia market. They have a lot of money. I don't know if you know that, but they have a lot of money. So, you know, they might be 50% of the Cybertruck buyers. You never know. Yeah. See, thank you, Igor.
I'm glad. You know, I'm happy for those who.
Igor, you gonna buy one? Come on.
I'm happy for those.
Igor will buy one. I think he's on the list too. Yes, and it is most definitely not 10,000 pounds. It is lighter than the F-150 based on the predictions right now.
What kind of towing capacity does it have, if any?
So I can only go by what they had originally said because
Yeah.
we don't really fully know right now. But let me look that up. Phil, vamp.
Huh?
Well, I called on the wrong person. Hey,
Yeah.
Ray, vamp for a second. I'll
Okay.
look it up.
So Phil, do you? I mean, do you think anybody's buying that truck to like actually use it for like towing stuff and like
Heck no.
actually
They're
using
buying
it
this
as
for
a
show. People are
thank you.
buying this to show it off.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like a vehicle from frickin' RoboCop. Anybody remember that movie? It looks like something out of RoboCop.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me say this first off. The F-150, not Lightning, the F-150 has a towing capacity of 12,300 pounds,
Yeah.
and the Cybertruck has a towing capacity of 14,000 pounds.
Okay. And if you were to tow 12,300 pounds on your Lightning, how much does that cut down its range? And
It goes to
then
50
if you were
miles
to tow
probably.
14,500 pounds in your Cybertruck, how much is it going to cut down the range of the Cybertruck?
Probably equivalent to that. It's going to cut your MPG while you're towing. Your MPG gets cut. Yeah, it's relatively.
I mean,
mirrored.
I understand that.
Obviously you have a bigger tank in an ICE vehicle and a much longer range, but your MPG gets cut like in half.
Okay.
When you're towing.
Well,
So
of
I mean,
course.
so in that regard, it's relatively the same. But yes, you are starting with a much shorter distance that you can drive in an EV. The
What
Cybertruck's
is
supposed to be 500 miles, but we'll see.
okay? But the range of a Lightning long range is what, like 320 miles, something like. Okay, so if you actually used it to tow that 12,000 pounds, you're talking about a range of 150 to 160 miles.
No, yeah, I mean, look, Ray, I know I'm supposed to debate you on this, but I think we agree on this. Like an EV truck right now, as without the Cybertruck coming out yet, all EV trucks right now are ridiculous for using as a work truck. They're just stupid to think you can use it as a work truck.
So, all right, Igor, yes, that's the only reason why I would buy it. Only to potentially flip it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not owning it.
You wouldn't buy it to own it. You might not even buy it to let anybody know you bought it other than who you're selling it to.
Right. I buy it, put it in storage, still all wrapped up, and first buyer, have at it.
Yep.
I will be driving it. That's me. Yeah, so I mean, I agree that as far as work trucks go, even the Cybertruck, that's not a work truck.
No,
it's just not. It's a toy hauler. I think you can probably do, haul some toys with it and go out and, especially if it comes in at the 500 range, 500 mile range, like they said. If it comes in at 250 to 300, I think, you have less of a shot at that, shorter trips, whatever. Especially when you're going out. If you're hauling it for toys like Forerunners or whatever, you're usually not near charging stations at those points.
I would think, yeah.
So a 250 mile range, hauling Forerunners and a boat or whatever, probably not a good idea. I definitely don't think these are work trucks yet. We got a ways to go, and I think Toyota solid state is probably the way we're going to end up going. You got to get a lot more, because you are cutting your range down. Let's even be generous and say you're cutting it down 40%. That's a huge dramatic cut when you're starting with 250 miles.
Yeah.
Where are you going with that? Like, so if you're cutting it down and towing that much, it's sort of ridiculous to consider it a work truck or one of those. I think we did have a comment here that most people own trucks that never pull or haul anything. I live in California, so I will say that is certainly my experience out here in California. That, they've got even the ones with the giant lifts on them and all that. They're not hauling stuff. They're just more for show and because they like trucks. And I think it's fine to like trucks. I don't put people off that if that's the kind of vehicle you like. I do like that the Cybertruck has a 6.5 foot bed. So if you are going to put stuff in the bed and use it, it's one of the most usable compared to Rivian's. I don't know, what is that, 1.5 foot bed? That bed is just completely useless.
1.5 feet.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a 6.5 foot bed, then that's perfect for the mafia.
Yeah. I was like, hey. Well, Ray, the images of the Cybertruck casting mold have 2 giant holes in the back before the bed. Wow. And I think they're going to put AC in there, which would mean that say you want to go camping, you can put a air mattress in the bed, sleep in there, 6.5 foot bed. You can sleep in that.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's, almost the same size as me. Put the AC on. You can roll the tonneau cover down, which also, again, is the tonneau cover that Elon Musk, who's 6'2", stood on top of. So it's not a cheap, gonna bend in one. So, I mean, you could really, it would be great for camping and stuff. Well, it is. I mean, yeah.
So how much does that air conditioning unit eat up battery life throughout the night when you're using it for
not
camping?
Not a ton. It's actually, so they did while driving. Obviously, they didn't do it just while sitting, but they did driving on a Tesla Model S Plaid range, and they drove 25 miles all around. One without the AC running at all, and one with it running on max. And the difference was like 0.7 mile range difference. With
Gentlemen,
the AC
I got to
on.
tell you, I'm getting hungry. So you kids
we have
to continue. But
we got
Justice
stuff we got to do
catch
too,
a
right?
meeting in like 7 minutes. So
I'm doing my best to help, but I need some food. I haven't eaten yet today.
No meatball sandwich today, though, Ray. I did not get pictures, though. I did not get pictures of the meatball sandwich.
I put it on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I gotta see now. I have to follow Ray on Instagram to get the pictures.
You don't have to follow me. You can just search and take a peek, and then unsearch. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty simple.
I mean, we have each other's personal cell phone numbers. I thought I was special.
Okay,
but that's okay. I'll go follow you on Instagram.
I will text it to you as soon as we get off. I will be texting it to you.
All right. Will you be here tomorrow? Are you guys going to Charlotte tomorrow? I don't know.
No, we're not going to Charlotte. Zach's going to DC. So my only gig tomorrow is you, baby.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And then, so we will be back tomorrow, and I don't know. We'll talk about something else.
Absolutely.
We'll figure it out what.
I'll be here.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Ray, you go have a sandwich. Phil, I'll see you in 6 minutes.
I'm on my way. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.